Take two, take three, take however many you want. Hey, y'all, trying this again. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day. You know, I've started this 3 times because I'm in a fog, but it's not a normal fibro fog. So bear with me as I try to explain what this is all about. But first, guys, I always tell you today, -7 feels like -9. Yeah, feels like -9. Going to +3 today and supposed to stay above 0 from this point forward. Although I'll believe that. I just don't believe it. Anyways, friends, this up and down weather of spring is very, very normal for this city, not this province, but for Calgary. This up and down weather is part of the norm. And I called my migraine, back it up a bit. I've had a migraine for the last month. It's been up and down, and I had maybe 1 day relief and a few half days where I thought it was gone, and then I said something and it came back. And, you know, I called it Ronagraine. There it is. I called it Ronagraine for a reason. Because I was talking to my sister yesterday. Yesterday, I had the worst migraine day that I can remember in my past. And I've had some doozies. But yesterday, I honestly spent 4 hours yesterday just lying in my bed with the light turned off and the phone on Do Not Disturb, and just sat there and prayed and hoped and wished it away. And yet the evening was almost as bad. You know, yes, I got it down a bit by staying in the dark, but as soon as I came out and got active again, it fueled up. Had a great meal, had to make supper. I had a great meal of leftover turkey from Christmas that I had frozen up, and we had a good time. But it was tough. It was tough. And during the day yesterday, when I was a little more lucid, I talked things over with my sister. She says, "You're used to migraines. Find what's causing it and get rid of it." And I says, "Well, I think it's the weather. I'm sure it's the weather. Springtime is bad for me." And she says, "Yeah, but you've never had it like a month straight. You've had weeks straight before. And the way you're describing today, it just sounds out of control. And is there something new in your life in the past month that you haven't thought of that, oh, hey, get rid of that, get rid of the migraine?" And I realized, you know what? You know what's new? This, I don't want to get my video shrunk down, but this virus is new. And that's why I called this a Ronagraine. It's from the Rona. And I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on. What a strange world we live in, where you have to start using acronyms and rhyming names and a bunch of things to not call something what it's really called, to try and fool the lack of. Anyways, this Rona started about a month ago, and so did my migraine. And I do see a direct correlation. Correlation is not always causation, but I do see a direct correlation to my studying of this virus, which as a parent I need to, and as a person I need to protect myself. But the more information I take in, the more my migraine seems to be exploding. And maybe it's a double-edged sword. Maybe it's spring and Rona grain. The spring weather of Calgary has always driven me crazy and always given me horrible, horrible headaches. Hella stress is something I just don't do well with at all. And I just went through a culmination of stress, bringing my young son over to this house on Saturday for 5 hours, introducing to him new people, to me new people, making two households the same as one. As I explained to his mother, anybody that visits you is therefore also visiting me, and I am visiting everybody they have visited. We have to be careful how quickly this can spread. But it's that kind of fear, that kind of overthinking, that kind of overreaction that I'm very famous for. And although it's gotten me out of a lot of crap because I am an overthinker, it's probably part of the reason for this migraine. And it was last night that I came to that Ronagraine realization that a lot of this is self-induced. If I cut down on my study of this, if I just do the hippie thing and let it be, I'm not going to make any change to it anyway. And I'm not going to be any more prepared than I am now. So it's time for me to let go a little bit. We, as a group, will still have our discussions. Not every video will be about this, but we will talk about it because it is current events and we do need to talk about it. So that's why I'm calling it the Ronagraine, and maybe this realization has got me in my postdrome. Postdrome. Yeah, postdrome. What the hell is postdrome? Well, postdrome, also called migraine hangover, comes after the pain of a migraine attack has subsided. Common postdrome symptoms include fatigue, nausea, sensitivity to light, this hurts, dizziness, body aches, and difficulty concentrating, like fog. It's because it is the final stage of a migraine. It's called the postdrome. I didn't know that. It can last anywhere from a few hours to more than a day after the headache goes away. Postdromes don't always come, but experts believe they do happen 80% of the time. And I think I'm in the postdrome. I've got some dizziness, but not really a headache. I've got awful body aches. I'm dizzy. I'm foggy. I'm trying to talk to y'all and follow a linear path of logic. And although it's coming through, it's a difficult road. I keep steering to the side. Oh, excuse me. You heard it here first. Now, does that mean I'm not going to worry anymore? Absolutely not. I'm Mr. Worrywart. My mother called me Worrywart for a reason, because all I've ever done all my life is worry about the people around me. I've never really had much concern over me, but I've always had huge concern of those anywhere near me or anybody who invokes me. So all of you all too, I worry about you all. When I don't hear from somebody for a while and you know who you are, I worry. I do. When I finally see a comment from any of you who are quiet to comment, I get a big smile. Doesn't matter what your comment says. I get a big smile because I know that if you're commenting, you're okay. If you're not commenting, I don't know if you're watching. And I think you probably are. But it's that comment that gives me that, okay, I'll stop worrying for a few days about that person because I finally heard from them. Most of you I hear from on a daily basis, whether it be in here or some of my YouTube posts on the community tab of YouTube, or if it's in Instagram, which I try to only dabble on just a bit to bring people here that need to be here. So, friends, today we learned about my own made up word, a Ronagraine. Tell me if you have any. And the postdrome, a real word. A real word, postdrome. Let's say it together. Postdrome. Yes, now I'm starting to live up to, some people call me the Mr. Rogers neighborhood of the cannabis world, and so I'm being a Mr. Rogers. Welcome to my neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Oh, that coffee's helping. And I do say throughout the day, throughout this morning, I woke up 2 hours ago, but I needed to get my head together. And I do feel I'm in postdrome. I do feel I'm in that final stage because the pains are less. The headache is definitely less and more a nuisance than anything else. Definitely I'm doing better. Yesterday, there's also another cause that could be the cause of my migraine, or could have been an exacerbator. What an awful name, exacerbator.
The exacerbator.
See, squirrel. Anyways, back to it. A couple of days ago, silly thing I did. I have to go back almost 30 years. Yeah, 58, 20. Holy crap, 30 years. 30 years ago, I broke my neck. I was 28 years old. Can't believe that's 30 years. Ding! The light bulb goes off. Ding! Did I do it again? Boy, this is going to be a post-editing nightmare. Anyways, back to it. When I was 28, I rolled my truck. I had left CP Rail for a couple of years to find my way. I wasn't sure at 28 years old if I wanted to be a railway man all my life, but I did find that leaving the railway left a hole. I'm a railway man. But that's another story for another time. Comment below if you need it. But I started driving truck for a transport company, hotshot service, oil field service, just to make ends meet. And I was going to buy the truck that I was driving, but I complained the brakes didn't work, and the brakes failed one morning because they said, keep driving it, it's good. And I got in a horrible car accident, and I broke my neck. And the person I ran into lost the use of their arms and legs. It was a tough couple of years following that. I was 6 months in a rehab hospital, and I never did fully recover. I do not have full use of my neck. I can turn about that far and about that far that way. I cannot go all the way back and I cannot go all the way down. I do not have full movement. But I went on to have a full career. And they always warned me that in my later years, this is going to cause a lot more pain, even though when I was pensioned by workers' compensation, they told me I was considered 5 to 7% permanently disabled because of the permanent neck pain. But I handled it. I never lost a day of work because of my neck after that, once I got a job. Anyways, so that tells you why my neck has trouble. And when it flares up, and I don't know if it's just arthritis coming into my neck, which was expected, or if it's fibromyalgia affecting my neck. But in the last couple of days, it's been very painful. And right in here, I've been getting a nerve pull that goes right to the base of the skull and down into the shoulder. And when it happens, it feels like I can't even move. And then it slowly it's like a cramp. It starts to go away, and then my whole shoulder and my neck, and therefore my head. I've complained a lot today, but that's what I've been dealing with between Rona, my Sharona, as another guy calls it, that, the changes in weather, the troubles to my neck. It's no wonder I'm migraine centric at this time. I think we need to move into finally, little known facts, friends. We had some good ones yesterday. Here's a couple of good ones. America's National School Lunch Program of 1946 was due to World War II. Now, instead of reading this outright, I read it. All it is in all around the world after World War II ended, there were a lot of poor people. There was a drain on the economy, and the economy took time to turn around. However, in America, they were giving free food for school kids, lunches. And it says right here, this was due to the fact the government realizing by giving children free meals, they would have a healthier draft pool if they ever needed to invoke the draft again. So this was in case World War III was just around the corner, only a few years out. Fatten up those kids, because you're going to have to call them to war. Shame on you, America, but it does not surprise me. And Abraham Lincoln was a wrestling champion. Before becoming the 16th president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln was an avid wrestler. He only lost one of 300 fights. And the last thing, that's an ugly thing. The guillotine was invented to create equality in execution. This may take a few things this may invoke a few comments to try and understand that the guillotine is an image that's fairly synonymous with France and the French Revolution. Until its advent and widespread use, the regular methods of execution in France were rather savage. Punishment, like being drawn and quartered, were common. The idea to use the guillotine as the main method of execution was part of the movement for equality in France that spurred on the revolution. This created an equality in death and execution for citizens from all backgrounds. Yay for equality? Friends, thanks for listening to me ramble and go on and on. We will see you tomorrow. Take care, peace, and be healthy. We love you. Peace.